we're able to get to that space, right? Like the movement that happens with AI and with just technology, which will advance quicker, I think, which is one thing that AI feels like to me. It's a fast forward button on technology and on possibility, because information can be quantified so quick, and a lot of more menial tasks, even though they're not really menial in people's lives, but menial hypothetically, can be done quicker
Yeah.
to get a lot of the framework for things done fast. But how will people survive? Like, how do we adjust our structure of if some people own the companies that have the AI, and then a lot of people are just using the AIs and the agents created by AIs to do things for them. How will societal members still be able to financially survive? Will there still be money? What is that? Does that make any sense, that
It
question?
totally makes
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but the whole AI conversation is there's been a lot of talk about it for the last really few years, and I know how it's changed even my workflow, my process, and being able to use it the way it's been able to do things so quickly and so accurately. And you still have to give it a once over just to make sure everything is like up to par. But literally, those menial tasks that you just hate doing, and this isn't a sponsorship video for you know, chat GPT or anything, but it is a phenomenal product. And the way it's been able to do it, it is kind of like making you think, yeah, we're in trouble, just because it's so fast and it's so accurate. And it's giving people like, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it just yet, but legal advice, how to different business practices you can do, even how to run a YouTube, how to like your setup and all that stuff. I've used it to tweak certain things here and there and dial it in. And I gotta say, I'm impressed, and it's worked. And I've talked to several other people in different fields and professions who are using it in some capacity. And yeah, it's pretty impressive and scary all at the same time. So yeah, let's hear what Sam has to say.
makes sense.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know. Neither does anybody else, but I'll tell you my current best guess.
Okay.
Well, I'll say two guesses. One, I think it is possible that we put, GPT-7 or whatever in everybody's chat GPT. Everybody gets it for free. And everybody has access to just this like crazy thing such that everybody can be more productive, make way more money. It doesn't actually matter that you don't like own the cluster itself, but everybody gets to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out even getting to use it is enough that people are like getting richer faster and more distributed than ever before. That could happen. I think that really is possible. There's another version of this where the most important things that are happening are these systems are discovering, new cures for diseases, new kinds of energy, new ways to make spaceships, whatever. And most of that value is accruing to the like cluster owners, us, just so that I'm not dodging the question here. And then I think society will very quickly say, okay, we got to have some new economic model where we share that and distribute that to people. I used to be really excited about things like UBI. I still am kind of excited, like universal basic income, where you just give everybody money.
Yeah, you hear that term a lot. Yeah, universal basic income. Yeah, I heard you and Rogan talk about that too a while back.
I still am kind of excited about that, but I think people really need agency. Like they really need to feel like they have a voice in governing the future and deciding where things go. And I think if you just like say, okay, AI is going to do everything, and then everybody gets like a, dividend from that, it's not going to feel good. And I don't think it actually would be good for people. So I think we need to find a way where we're not just like, if we're in this world where we're not just distributing money or wealth, like actually, I don't just want like a check every month. What I would want is like a ownership share in whatever the AI creates, so that I feel like I'm participating in this thing that's going to compound and get more valuable over time.
Yeah. If it's one thing we learned from the pandemic, um, is that having given people money, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but nah, I won't even say it, but giving people money, I don't know. In that particular moment, I don't know that it was helpful. Again, I'm painting with a very broad brush here. I know we had a lot of rent freezes and there's a lot of like, you know, yeah, people that have to pay the student loans and all those types of things and deferment. It was just a weird time. Uh, and we didn't have a lot of cost, a lot of overhead cost. But I will say the idea of a universal basic income is interesting. The concept is, I don't see a problem with that, even if it's to the point to where, there's some basic needs that people can get a little bit assistance on. You're basically subsidizing the American people, which I don't have a problem with. That we subsidize a lot of companies and corporations. I don't see why we can't subsidize the American people. But a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. I mean, is it really gonna change your life having $1,000 a month? No, probably not. Maybe to some people it will. Probably will change your life, but to most it probably won't. But will it be an extra, you know, bill or discount on rent or something like that? Yeah, I think so. And is that the worst thing in the world? No, I don't think so. Um, how do you make it fair? I don't know. Because the last thing you want is the people who make just gobs of money and who are at the top and run businesses and things like that. I don't know if that they need $1,000, but if you're trying to really benefit the underclass, right? The people who are less fortunate, those are the people that really that $1,000 is going to be life changing. Even for like daycare costs. Daycare costs are just through the roof. I have two kids and it's not cheap. So I think those types of things can be beneficial. But in terms of AI, I was listening to John Hope Bryant, and I think he's a part of Sam Altman's chairman board or something like that. I'm messing this all the way up. But they have a program in Atlanta that they will take kids from um, school age all the way through, you know, the whole basically school experience, and they will work with them with AI and start to interject that into their like curriculum, I guess. And I'm butchering this all the way up, but this is a gist. And it's supposed to give them special training to where when they graduate school, they can get straight into a program working for, and they have like a certificate or something like that that says that they are specialists in using AI and software and tools and things of that nature. I think something like that is beneficial, but is there going to be a massive disruption? Yeah, I mean that's pretty obvious at this point. If you haven't used it, use it and see. I mean, you can see accountants, it's a wrap. When it comes to certain small projects, I don't see the companies needing like a whole mess of accountants. And that's just one. And I've heard people say teachers and things of that nature. But you know, going back to John Hope Bryan, he had mentioned that Sam Alton and himself and a few other they're realizing that AI is the first level playing field that everyone has, meaning like there's no discrimination here. So you could take full advantage of AI and try to, you know, use it to your advantage. So I think everyone should be using it in some capacity or another. Don't try to fight the wave because it's coming. And, if you just know how to incorporate it into your workflow and your processes, I think you'll be one step ahead already.
Time. So I sort of like universal basic wealth better than universal basic income. And I think I don't like basic either. I want like universal extreme wealth for everybody. But even then, like I think what people really want is the agency to kind of co-create the future together. And in a world where it's like the AI is mostly coming up with the new scientific inventions, at least we've got to still have humans like invent the new culture and have that be a very distributed thing.
Okay, I guess, I see what you're saying, but would that be like an American thing, do you think? Like since they were invented here, or do you think, I'm just wondering, what does that look like,
The economic model of it all or the whole thing?
Yeah, or is there a dividend of the company that then is divided up between the masses, sort of?
I mean, a crazy idea, but in the spirit of crazy ideas, is that if the world, there's like roughly 8 billion people in the world, if the world can generate like 8 quintillion tokens per year, if that's the world, let's say the world can generate 20 trillion 20 quintillion tokens per year.
Tokens of,
Like each word generated by an AI.
okay.
Just making up a huge number here.
Okay.
We'll say, okay, 12 of those go to, the normal capitalistic system, but 8 of those, 8 quintillion tokens, are going to get divided up equally among 8 billion people. So everybody gets 1 trillion tokens. And that's your kind of universal basic wealth globally. And people can sell those tokens. Like if I don't need mine, I can sell them to you. We could pool ours together for some like new art project we want to do. But instead of just like getting a check, everybody on Earth is getting like a slice of the world's AI capacity. And then we're letting the like massively distributed human ingenuity and creativity and economic engine do its thing. I mean, that's like a crazy idea. Maybe it's a bad one, but that's the kind of thing that I think sounds like someone should think about it more.
Yeah, I don't even know what he was talking about right there, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. A lot to think about, way above my pay grade. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment and share. I really appreciate it when you guys do subscribe to the channel as we grow. Take care. Bye.